All right, hello, hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Everything should be good. I think so. Yeah, okay. There we go. I was like, wait, why is this not showing up? Anyway, so yeah. So some interesting data, right? Some very interesting data. You know, in looking at you know, how do you look at this? I guess is kind of the best question. Yeah, average hourly earnings not as good as what you would hope, right? Meaning, yeah, they're still positive, but they went down a little bit lower than expected. So, overall, that's kind of not what we're looking for as a consumer. Doesn't necessarily change the interest rate decision too much. Then you get to the non-farm employment change. Better than expected. That goes on the side of, okay, listen, they're hiring more people than we thought. That means we're not killing demand. That's what the original goal was anyway. You know, that's what we're looking to do. Time to raise interest rates. Then we get the third option here, and this is like in choice C, the unemployment rate. Now, the unemployment rate is really probably is what's got everybody scratching their heads right now. If you look at the 24-hour pip changes right now, you see 22, 8, 13, minus 15. You're looking at this and you're like, well, what the heck did we do with this, right? Kind of a, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised by this one. In all honesty, I'm not going to be surprised if, I don't know, like if there is some type of adjustment done, right? You know, sometimes they get things wrong. You know, it's not uncommon, right? They make an adjustment after the fact. I'm surprised that it was a 0.2% difference, right? That's kind of a big deal, right? And again, looking at this right now, the best way to look at it is the dollar. The dollar's not shooting in any direction. I mean, if they were all super red, we'd get some movement, right? But we don't. Yeah, the question is now, what do you do with this one? Because the dollar, literally, you can see huge wicks in both directions and nothing. And now the market's not moving. And the way that people are looking at this is like, well, are we raising interest rates? Are we not raising interest rates? What the heck do we do with this? And I got to agree. Definitely definitely an interesting take on it. Now, I do think it is overly high. I think the scratching the head today is, I mean, again, the unemployment rate, it's such a conflicting number. The unemployment rate, and I mean, I just can't believe it went up 0.2. Again, going up 0.1, not a big deal. 2, yeah, it's a little bit iffy, right? A little bit iffy. So, but it is great that they're hiring more people, which is kind of strange. You're like, wait, the unemployment rate's going up, but we're hiring more people back than we thought. How does that work, right? Kind of a crazy number. So, yeah, was not expecting that much, that much kind of drama with it. And again, particularly like something like this with the dollar yen, I'm looking for the big. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this weekend. I think BOJ finally intervenes this weekend. It's continuing to rise. We know yesterday it was going up. So I think that's what's next. We're going to get some intervention from the BOJ. Would not be surprised over this weekend. And again, I'm not holding anything over the weekend, but I do think that is on the way. Other news out there this morning. I mean, obviously, nothing else today. I think I have it set for everything, right? Yeah. Obviously, nothing then, nothing Sunday, and then Monday. Monday, obviously, a holiday for us, but we do have OPEC meetings. And I think the OPEC meeting is interesting. They came out, they increased production, and then all of a sudden, bam, trying to lock down 21 million people. I don't think they're going to take it back, but I think they will make some comments about it. So I think that there could be. I think Monday could be an interesting play for any oil traders out there. But again, with our markets closed because of the holiday, that always, obviously, changes things around just a little bit, right? Just a bit outside. Where are we going here? All right. So that leads us to today. What else we're going to see? Other news out there, unemployment situation, and they're going to dissect the heck out of this today. So we're going to see a lot in here about it. I don't know if it's up here yet right now. It's funny, they're not showing it, but I did get it on another kind of news thing out there. Russia has made an announcement that they are going to start purchasing foreign currencies in an effort to weaken the ruble. Okay, the ruble has gotten way too strong. Obviously it hurts them when they're buying other things. They lost about half of their foreign assets. So they're talking about buying I think they're talking about buying 70 billion, at least in the Chinese currency, and then mixing it around between a couple other people that they don't consider hostile countries to them, as a way to weaken their currency, right? Because it is too strong right now. It's gone up 40% since it's, obviously since the crash, it's up 40%. So the way to kill the ruble, it didn't work. It's more expensive. So that's not over there, but that's actually going to come into play as well. The Chinese currency had liked it in the beginning and then kind of faded back from it as well. So a lot of stuff kind of going on. This is going to be talked about all day. People are going to look at this and be like, so yeah, right now that's why you're seeing not monstrous moves in the market, because people don't really know what to do with this. And again, being this mixed release, if this was red too, I think it would have been great, right? Would have been a very clear signal today, but right now, not so much. And the charts out, looking at the charts, look at that. You can see the release. Here's where the release came in, and we're literally right there. You're like, what the heck do we do with this? So unfortunately, we talked about dollar weakness going into the number, and you can see that we did get the dollar weakness down. And now the market is kind of, again, a little confused with what we're going to do. And even something like the dollar CAD right now, the dollar CAD's negative, right? This is down a little bit, but it's mostly because of oil is up almost 3%, up 2.5 today. So again, getting that oil strength coming back in. And again, these two have had a complete reversal. All right, so let's just go right into charts here. And again, it's Friday. We'll probably be a little bit quicker. So in looking at this, funny enough, look at this. Extend this across and did not get stopped out. And boom, came back in. And you can see, yeah, it would have triggered. It would have hit the second time as well. Look, if we continue this across. Boop, boop, boop. There's your second hit too. Again, we already hit it once. We already used it. But funny how that one actually held in that one and pushed back to the downside. So, yeah. Kind of funny. Where do we take this guy now? We can adjust this a little bit. Bring this back down. Adjust this one just a bit too. It got its confirmation there. All right. Yeah, look at that. European. Look at this. European 3 o'clock is right there. That candle right there. Interesting how the Europeans knew, right? It's like they knew, right? I'd say watch out for this. Now, again, Friday, are we going to have the opportunity to come all the way down, tag this level, and head back up again? Probably not. It's just not enough time for it, particularly on a holiday weekend. Remember, today is going to be one of those days that, again, people are taking off a little bit early, get the extra time, right? Gotta get that little bit extra in there. I would say right now, I mean, here's some things you got to look at for this one. Obviously, the 68, right? I'm sorry, the 67.82. That's obviously something, right? The 50 now is at an interesting level. I think we should mark that off again. You can see that there's descending wicks here, and I don't love it, right? There are no clear bodies, but again, descending, 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 descending. So there is something smaller sitting in there right around the 50. This level, I don't think we can use again. It's already really, it's kind of been pushed to the brink. So not really much we can kind of do with that one. Where do we go with it? Where do we go with it? In all honesty, I don't think that we're gonna have any other time this week. I think this one's pretty much done. Being smack in the middle, I just don't think like I just don't feel like we can move enough. I just don't think there's enough time. Right? This is like that old school movie, right? I just don't know if there'll be time. Don't have to be time. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know if there'll be enough time for this one today. Being smack in the middle, it's got too much to move, right? 45, 38. Whoops. I don't think there's time. So I think keep it ready for next week. 68, 64, 67, 82. I think either of those two are decent levels. We'll see where we get to on either of those. Now, Aussie came up, and it's funny. We kind of drew this one, and it came up, and it finally grabbed that 68 or the 78.6. It did turn there, and again, it's kind of a news-based move. It's more than a yen than anything else. I think right now, in preparation for next week, we mark the top off over here. We'll turn this one red, throw a price label on it, right there. And I think kind of the same thing, that 50% level down here, right? We're still sitting down here at the 48. We're kind of sitting in the middle, and again, we had a level, pushed it to the brink. Didn't really give us a Harry Potter, but it's pulled right back to where news was. So almost kind of a similar situation where it's kind of sitting in the middle of the two, kind of higher quality zones. Yeah, I mean, kind of the same thinking. I'm trying to look at this and say, is there a Harry Potter trade here? And I would say, no, not really, right? Not really. No, not really. It'd be nice, but unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. Yeah, same thinking, guys. I wish I would have more on this one, but we just don't. 6808, or actually, I guess we can change this. Get a little OCD in there. 9609, and we're gonna make this one flat too. There you go. 94.80. I think that's our top and bottom as far as the Aussie goes, but we're sitting in the middle. There's a level of basing here. We did kind of pull back again. If anything, I'd look for this one to pull back down on Sunday night. I kind of like the idea of this one on a Sunday night, just because, again, I think the BOJ's about to intervene. It's just way too high. They talked about it. They telegraphed it. I think people are just looking at it. Euro dollar. So you can see euro dollar, not a whole lot in there. We had an old violated level we talked about. It was done here, and we kind of were bouncing off of it, but it wasn't really wasn't the option to get into it again. We did tag past the profit target. So again, getting this one ready for next week as well. I'd say there's our top. We did not hit the top. It kind of got stuck here, but did not hit it. Pull those off. That is out now. Here's a confirmed level. Let's turn this green for next week. I'm going to say again, I think this is a Sunday night opportunity. Let's take this and throw this over here. Where do we go with this one? Honestly, right now, the market really just doesn't know. You can see that the chop back and forth, we're exactly where the news release came in at. So, what direction is it? What is our trend right now? If anything, I'd say look for some dollar strength to kick back in. I think if one of the Fed presidents makes a comment, there's the European move up. There should be some profit taking coming in. I'd say look for it to roll back down again, but I think really this parity number, we're 5 pips above it. I think this parity number basically plays, it's the magnet, I think, today. I don't think we can go much more than that. But for some reason, if we do kind of push up, if we are able to push up, 10044 I think is good. I think to the bottom side, again, bracketing off for next week, I think 99.12 is good. But right now, again, you can see the chop back and forth. We're inside of it. We're exactly where the news came out. And it's something as big as the euro dollar. We should have had some more movement if there was a true direction today. I think if anything, you go bearish this one. And the reason I would say bearish is because I do think if they, one of the Fed presidents comes out and say, yep, it looks like it's working, but it just means that this is the first step in a long process that, our race still needs to be in. Particularly because, again, the unemployment rate doesn't really, they said that the unemployment rate would get us there. That's not what the target was. The target was the JOLTS, the job data, right? Hiring more people than expected, and the JOLTS data being higher means that companies have not backed off yet. People not getting paid as much sucks, right? That's not a good thing. But overall, the unemployment rate is really not necessarily. The unemployment rate isn't what kills inflation. It's the demands for jobs. So JOLTS and the ADP number is bigger than the unemployment rate. All right. So I think this one turns and rolls back down for the rest of today. Euro pound. Did it grab it? It did grab it. It did grab it. So yesterday we talked about how we chopped through and we peaked just a little bit above. Now we can raise this a little bit. So this one peaked. We didn't really get any type of good confirmation in there, but you can see how it's pacing back and forth again. There we go. Right now, I would say that I'm also in the bearish camp for this. If euro dollar is going to continue to push down from dollar coming back in, people will look at that as your European weakness. I say it probably comes back in bases in here. You can see that this one had that old level that was violated, base, touched it and did take off in the overnight. That one was kind of a 530, right? Kind of a 530. Here's your 3 o'clock. Your 3 o'clock is there. And it kind of pushed down. And then the bottom, obviously, actually 530 is the second green. So missed it by like a half hour on both sides. It's all right. It's all right. I think this one turns and rolls as well. Same reason as the euro dollar. Again, as the dollar strength kind of slowly rolls back in after, the dollar weakness kind of rolls back in. From now, we should see some dollar strength rolling back to kind of equalize this for the week. We should see the European market kind of push down a little. Nothing exciting with this one. We're only talking about 20 pips. So, yeah, it's going to be one of those Fridays, right? I can tell you already. But we'll see. So this would be some pound strength coming in. So we'll see. Maybe the pound dollar has something for us. All right. So here is that knockout. We made it to, looks like we made it to a 1 to 1.8 before it turned and rolled on us. And it did turn at 10:30. It was that 10:30 reversal that got us right there. There's the bottom. And it actually did come back. It was a 10:30 reversal on a 23.6. And it's like, wow. And that turned. So it actually got at one point, it was about a 2 to 1 from the $18 worth of risk as you could have taken it off for 50 something. Is what you were able to see when I was watching that knockout. So it's obviously been stopped out now to the top side, had you played that one till the end. But you could have got at least a 2 to 1. And actually, I think you almost got a 3 to 1 out of that one as well. I walked away from it when it was real low. But yeah, it was definitely, you could have definitely bought it on the other side and banked, what was it, 46, 47, something like that when I was looking at it. Considering it was $18 risk, not too bad. We just missed like the 1 to 3 on it. But again, 23.6 and 10.30, you're like, gotta hate when that happens. But it does. So it's pushed higher right now. Now, we did hit this level. We hit it again, and we started that. You can see we kind of got to pull back off of that more near term. So there was actually a Harry Potter trade in here from this level. If you talked about this level right here, there's your Harry Potter. And again, touch, base in, broke, pulled back, and took off. So it's coming back into the level now. I'd actually use this run here, and again, we can remove that top one. We'll drag this back up again. You can see that the 23.6 is coming back in where the base is. There's a little bit of a Harry Potter here. Now, it is a tested level, so I do think that this has the ability to kind of bounce off of that at least one more time. It's the same weakness that we talked about for the other three. The hard thing about this one is I do think that we have yen strength coming back into the market. I think there's just no way. I think there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I think it's coming back into the market. Does it go farther? Hold on one sec. Let me check. It's so hard. I think there's going to be a big intervention on this one. I think with a big intervention, we bring it all the way back down here into this 138-ish range. I think we really push a lot to the downside. Look at that. The 140.65 is the dotted line that we had in there. It's already moved too much right now. Like I said, I think we have continued yen strength coming in. If we do have a base in here, I don't think we have enough room. I'll just steal this one from before. Let's see. 1 to 3 is right there. So again, it's got to clear through the 23.6, but I think this one comes back down again. Let's extend this across for next week. I honestly don't know if we can get through this, and if we do, I don't know if we'll have enough time to really do much with it. Yeah, I just don't know if it's going to be. It's kind of the same thing. Will there be enough time for today? Probably not. I feel like the answer is no. Hold on one sec. Okay. I hate it when it's that much movement. Yeah. So we're going to take this one off. Don't care about that one. Let's run fibs from low to high right here. It is putting it right there. The 23.6 and the 50 are at the exact same spot. I feel like that's what I was worried about. That's going to be the one hiccup right there. There is your one hiccup. Oh, and it's a 52. God. All right, so that we are going to have to watch out for that. So pull that one off. Change that to a yellow. Probably a great. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns and bounces off of that. Okay. The 139.50, not only is it a 23.6 pullback from the top, it's also a 50% in the most recent kind of this last basing high to low. So it's an area that we need to watch out for. And then again, obviously being a psychological number at 139.50. So a couple things going all there. I think watch out for that one on maybe, I mean, in all reality, if there's an intervention in the BOJ, they should be able to blow through this one. But if we do not get that intervention until middle of next week, I think Sunday night this could be a buy area at this 139.50. Pound dollar. All right, so pound dollar. We talked about 116 a break. You see that we got it, right? That was from yesterday. We did push. We actually missed the profit target by just a little bit, although the risk on this one should have been smaller. It should have been there. There is your recent. I don't know why we had it set to 1 to 5. But anyway, there's your trade. I finished at 11 o'clock yesterday. We're continuing to push lower. Profit target wise on this one, I still think we shoot for this one to go lower. The 114.10 is kind of the number that I'm kind of looking for right now. It's got a bit of room to run in there. I think as soon as we get any type of headline or mention of it, I think this one continues to push down. This big green area. This is kind of a little bit of a racetrack that we know that we have sitting in there. There's not too much that we can do with it right now. Let's see. Where do we go with it? Where do we go? Let's see. I don't know. We may have enough room in this one. Again, there's your profit target. Let's turn that red. How much space is that? Let's see. It's 31 pips, so I don't really have any interest in taking a 31 pip stop loss, but I bet you that pushes right down to the 1410. Look at that. Right down to the 1410. So it's a big trade. I don't want to take that much risk. I mean, again, I do like the 85 pip runner on that one, but the reality is I'm not going to take a 30 pip risk with 85 pips on a Friday going into a holiday weekend. I think that one's quite dangerous. But if we can get some headlines, it could be a Sunday night base trade. Again, big risk. I would not hold this over the weekend because all we need is 1 or 2 comments and this thing will fly. But the target originally we talked about was 114.10. Again, we do have a near-term basing. It has kind of respected that. It hit it again. There's 3 hits off of it. Not great hits because it's barely breached it at all. I think today what we're going to do is we'll probably just work on grinding through this a little bit. If we do get that switch and that kind of rollover in the euro pound, I think that's probably what the trigger is. But I mean, the pound is really, really screwed up. Nothing they have is working. We're definitely raising again. I think there's more dollar strength coming in. It's just how much are we planning for? And is it the 75 like we're, that we're going to get, right? Are we going to continue to get that is the big question, right? All right. I thought this would be a better looking trade. All right, so... Oops, hold on. What's going on? All right. Pound yen. So, obviously, there is a lot of talk over here, right? Obviously, somebody's paying attention. It came back up, grabbed the 78.6, which I don't really love. I do like the fair to go higher on this one, though. And you see the pushback down again. So there are more people that are in the same belief as I am. Yeah. They got the yen already rolling back down again. So not much we can do with it. We can pull this off again. Don't care about this right now because, again, once it's to 786, it's not an issue. It's not a thing for me anymore. It did miss it slightly. We had talked about this level in the past. 1 hit, 2 hits, nice push away, and missed it by, I don't know. Let's see. What do we miss it by? So I wish this didn't just make it wider and wish it did all of it. Like it scaled directly. I think that would be a cool thing. We missed it by 1.8 pips. So, yeah, is what it is. And then again, we talked about this level being a breakthrough as well. Because again, 1, 2, 3, 4, Harry Potter, and it actually did go higher. That was actually an opening print Harry Potter. So that's not actually horrible, right? That's not a bad trade. But pull it right now. We're probably at the 50% from the overnight. Yeah, actually 61.8. So there is a little bit of a hiccup here that is tested. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns and rolls right now. I'm not interested in taking this one. It's already moved way too much for me. But I would say that, if anything, it will probably turn and roll back up again. Again, being that it's 10:30 right now, this is the time where we look for the roll. Again, huge push down, yen strength. Euro pound turns and rolls. That everybody looks at that as European weakness, pound strength. Pound strength rolls back into this market. We have a reversal in the yen from what we've seen thus far. All these tools obviously lead us for this to go long. Risk on it, though, is a little bit much. Again, I'd like to see a confirmation. It's only 16 pips on the pound yen, which is really not bad. I'd like to see the turn and roll, but you can see the base there, and it's touched and supported. It has pushed it in, but there is some support below it. So what I'd say is if you can get something breaking above 160, 165, again, there could be a long in this one. And remember, based off the current trend, I mean, again, this is, here, let's go back down to 30. You can see, right? There's some candles in here, a little bit of a pullback, right? 4 hour wise. Yeah, right. This is an uptrend, although it's kind of an anchor break, right? It's a huge push down, but it was kind of more news based than anything else. So we were in an uptrend setup. Right, we were in an uptrend setup, and again, when it broke, it went down to a level. So we are at levels. Again, if this is where it's going to turn and roll, now would be the time to do it. 10:30, 160, 165 high. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD is reversing from its high yesterday. We can go just a little bit higher. That peak was at 10. Again, missed the 1030 reversal by just a little bit. You're seeing it continue to roll. The Europeans have sent it back down again. Yesterday, we talked about this as well as a potential level here. We had seen some kind of play on it. You can see that it came down in 1, 2, 3, 4 went through. It's basing below, probably to push lower. We do have a Harry Potter here, right? A break of 130.64. Yesterday, we talked about looking for this one to turn and roll. Reason why is because yesterday was a dollar strength day. Oil was just getting slammed yesterday. Oil is not getting slammed today. We're seeing the reversal. It is now up again. So yesterday when it was all beat up, right? When it was all beat up, we saw it run up again. Now that oil is turning and rolling and it's coming back in, we're seeing the exact opposite happen. So it's doing exactly what it should do going into a Friday. Again, some of the concerns were China. Now, again, OPEC is meeting. It's just a reversal of plays. And again, the dollar CAD, if you guys don't know, wondering why I'm talking about it. Obviously, the CAD is a proxy for oil. They export so much to the United States. When oil goes up, CAD gets strength. Okay, doesn't mean that the country's better. It just means that the CAD gets strength. All right. This one looks to continue to roll, and again, this may be a Sunday night trade. The same pattern that we're looking for here, where they break below, not a base in there, but a break below, base, break, base, pullback, and then go ahead and take it short. All right. Dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss did pop up and went back down again. Like I said yesterday, we mentioned this one. 1030 was the peak. 1030 was the peak. Now, it did break through, which kind of sucks that it didn't just hit and go. So again, you may, if you'd taken this in forex, you probably got stopped out. It's unfortunate because it went exactly where we talked about it going. But the data yesterday was, yesterday's data. This ISM manufacturing being at 10 o'clock, got to be a little bit more leery of that, right? It did. The 10 o'clock spiked it up, and then kind of it hadn't turned and rolled yet. But it has pushed back down again. So again, there's your take on it. Right now, we're kind of exactly where we started yesterday's news. This level up top, and again, if we readjust this, there was your news today. Right there was your 8:30, 9 o'clock news today. So looking for a trade today based off of this pattern, which is actually a pretty nice pattern, right? Let's see. Are you out? 2.53 is right there. So yeah, you're officially out. And again, that was a post-news move. Wasn't necessarily, the candle here, I don't know if you guys can see the candle. It is ugly. This one right here, this is the 8:30 candle. The open and close, almost exactly the same. Here, I'll move this out of the way because you guys can see that is a completed trade. Look at that. Open and close exactly the same. Look at the wick. Up, down, left, right, sideways. Ugly. People are like, what the heck do we do with this, right? But overall, the technical level up top is what did it. So let's adjust this one for the new levels. Here, this one got adjusted higher. We don't need that. I'll tell you right now, first thing that I see in this one glowing is right here, right? So again, this would be a profit target. If you are short and looking to get out, again, I'd be cautious with this anyway. But here's probably your profit target for the day, 97.90. 97.90 is what you'd be looking for. All right. Dollar yen. So dollar yen is up. There's our play from yesterday. You can see that it took off. So it is out, right? You got out at 10:30 yesterday. We're going to leave this purple line here, and we will turn this yellow. I don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. Let's drag all of these up and kind of see where they fold. Right there. So right now, you see the 23 and the 50 are all lining up. I'm going to leave that Harry Potter there, but we're going to have to mark off. It's a 23 and a 50. It's probably hiccup. Actually, don't mind this top. This actually could be a top for the weekend. If we can open up here on Sunday, look for this to roll back down again. Right there. 140.50, not a bad level. You got 3 zeros in that one. It's not too horrible at all. It'd be better if it was 140 flat, but you guys know how it goes. Probably a little bit of a Harry Potter short here, but again, I think my play over the weekend is definitely going to be yen short. I think it's hard to not think it's hard to not not want to be short the yen this week. So yeah, so 140 again. This would be more of an opening, and if we bounce off up top, have it come back down. All right. All right. Bitcoin has rallied back up again. Again, we're seeing dollar weakness, so not surprised there. Ethereum also pushing higher. Look at the chop through this one. Look, base, 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 base. All that basing. All the basing. Looks like Ethereum's coming up to a level here too. 116.75. It's funny, Ethereum is right there. Okay. Doji. Doji is on the opposite end. Everything else is rallying, and this one's getting beat up. Elon must have said something. Ooh, TLT with the big drop. Really, from yesterday, it's holding firm. 110. Hmm. Hmm. Eh. Bonds isn't really telling us much. All right, let's go across and look at oil. All right, so yesterday we talked about this one. We talked about coming down, and we were getting really, really close. We hit it. I missed the bottom by one candle. Right? We talked about one candle, missed it. We were sitting right here. I talked about just coming a little bit lower, and it did. It hit it at 2 o'clock. Right, 2 o'clock, it grabbed it, it came back up again, and we talked about a level right here, the 23.6. We've already hit it once, based, hit it again, and it is pushing back down again. So had you traded oil, you should have got the long from yesterday. We talked about being beaten up, taking profit on that one, and it again, it went up the $3 that we mentioned, and is now turning and rolling. Going into the weekend on this one, like I said, this one also has a short time where it does end early. On this one, honestly, right now, if you guys got the long this morning, or I guess yesterday afternoon, I think you're good on that one. Rolling into the weekend, I think there's a lot of factors in play. And again, the United States being closed on Monday, it's not really kind of the best setup, on a fundamental basis. I think a lot could happen with that OPEC meeting on Monday, and obviously being with low volume, there will be some movement in this one. So, yeah, kind of a bit of craziness. There's not much we can do with it. Yeah, I mean, we've already talked about the short from this level. I think it does roll back a little bit. Let's see, we'll pull this in. You can see that the 23 is sitting right there. You can see it needed the actual supply zone, not the 23.6. So, yeah, I'd say, again, my opinion today would be short. I don't really necessarily love this one. I think the play is already done. It just got out this early morning. So my take would be, a little bit more to the short side is what I'd be looking for. Now, natural gas is taking it on the chops pretty good. We're looking for this to go all the way back up to the 950 range. It made it to 938 before turning and rolling yesterday afternoon. We're at a level right now. This one didn't matter. It was the orange one that we had talked about before in the past. This one doesn't have a lot of technical levels lining up. You can see the 50s in the middle of nowhere. The 61.8 is kind of at a level, right? The 61.8 is kind of at a level. We got one down here. It's probably got room to run to the downside, but right now, I wouldn't have any interest in selling this one. 4% down on one day is a big move. We tend to see reversals on that one. This is one of those ones that I think Sunday night you could potentially go long on it. And again, I just don't have, any appetite to short this one because I think there's just so much political risk involved right now. So, yeah, I look for this one to turn and roll back up again. But this level on a purely technical basis, cover natural gas up here. You've had 1, 2, 3. This is 4. It technically should break right now, but on a Friday afternoon in a market that closes early, going into a holiday weekend, do I want to short this one? Am I going to have time? No, I don't think so. Again, just not a great place to put your money when, we're running into time. And again, running into a holiday weekend. So, by noon, people will be taking off. I know here, you guys know I live in Maryland. I live in Annapolis. You go through Annapolis on Route 50 to get to the beach. This is like the final beach weekend for everybody, right? So a lot of people are taking off. Like the boys' private school, they're off at 1:30 today. A lot of people will be rolling out of town this weekend. So markets are the same way. It's not Maryland is not an anomaly, right? A lot of people from Pennsylvania be going through. Anybody near the beach is like, hey, this is our last weekend holiday. Let's take it. Let's go. Obviously, volume will be less. So just watch out for that one. Now, gold. Now, gold, you can see yesterday, the Harry Potter trade, we went down and we tagged it. We went down, and the next level of buying wasn't necessarily all the way down here, 1664. We were looking to buy. The trade is out, obviously. We were out at 8:30 yesterday, and then look at that. It just base, and now it's kind of retraced back up again. And again, I do think this is a justifiable kind of move. Now, it is getting up here at the 23.6, so people will be looking at this one, but kind of the same thing we just mentioned with natural gas. It is a holiday weekend. Right, it is a holiday weekend. People are going to be leaving early. There is a small level here, although this is kind of a retest of this old level here. Again, it kind of did a little Harry Potter behind us, and so we got two levels kind of sitting here, right? A one top base here, and then again, this level's been touched, but a nice push out of it. So I would say where gold is going to, today. Ending early for all the same things I said. I think gold we're starting to look for areas of selling. The last time we were here, this was a good trade. We'll take it off now. We're kind of sitting in that level right now, right? It's kind of breaking it, but I think the 23.6 is more important. Again, old level that we were expecting to break, and again, it was the top right here. So we'll remove it now. Let's grab. And there's not really a great level down here yet. We're going to turn that yellow, look to see if we can get a better base there. That'll be a target downside. I would say if we can open up in either of these two ranges on Sunday night, maybe the 1722, right? 1722-ish range. I think you go short. Again, even with in all honesty, if we go into 0.5, even with the Fed slowing things down, I think that, Japan intervenes. I think, because of the dollar strength, I think we're going to raise again. I think Europe is going to start raising. They're at 9.1 now. I think the UK is going to start talking about it, the need to crush it down. What's kind of helped this today, obviously, is this, right? The average hourly earnings, people aren't making as much, but again, more people are getting hired. And again, this rate is, I think this is wrong. Here you go. Two things the Fed must do to establish credibility. All right, L.A. And again, it struck a Takashon in a speech at Jackson Hole last week, and then they got blasted. But that's why I'm saying they're talking about tightening and again reining in inflation. So for me, I think you look at levels. I think if we can get up to 1722, you look for a short. If it does do it today, you don't go short. You wait till Sunday night till the market opens. Don't play this one over the weekend because again, BOJ intervenes. You will have some movement in gold, and they will do it over the weekend, particularly because it's a U.S. holiday. They don't care, right? It doesn't matter for them. The rest of the markets are open. You should see this turn and flip. Silver's doing the same thing. We were looking for 1740. It made it down to 1753. Missed it by 16 cents, but it was the bottom. And we kind of had that one drawn from yesterday morning. It really didn't do anything. It just kind of held and maintained here on this low push. Then this morning, Europeans stepped in here. It kind of moved a little bit. Again, does it come to 23.6? Sure. I think the better spot right now is up here at the 1665. It's in between, or 1865. It's in between two different levels. The 23.6, there's nothing there. There's a little level above, but that's the last real big basing there. And the 50, you can see it's way far away. So I think kind of the same thing. Look to see if we can get a failure to go higher. Look for a one candle top, and maybe if we get a gap lower on Sunday night and a pullback, there could be an opportunity to take this short. But the opinion's the same. Yes, the data has slowed down, but at the end of the day, we're still going to raise interest rates. Nothing is changing with that. We need to get inflation under control, which it's not right now. So look for that to move. Twitter, blazing. Look at this, blazing. 0.00 on Twitter. Apple, Tesla, all the same. Tesla's pulling back a little bit. Apple's doing better. Again, iPhone, right? I don't know if you guys heard today as well. I saw the article this morning. The U.S. government has told AMD and NVIDIA to not sell their newest chips to China anymore. So I think that's an interesting play. I guess they were, ordered to not do it. It's interesting if China feels like they are being directly targeted. Here's what's going to happen. Those chips exist on the market, right? People have those chips. They are in devices, okay? If you cut China off, China will have no problem of acquiring those chips, and then they will just copy them, duplicate them, and then they're going to sell them on the market cheaper. Maybe it's a little bit behind, but what are you going to do, right? You force someone not to do something, they're going to adapt. It's their right to adapt. So yeah, because they could be used for military purposes. Okay, sure. But does that preclude them from taking those chips and just copying them? If there's one thing that China does really, really well, is it will take technology, figure out how to clone it and make it their own, and then what are you going to do? Right now, they have they have the same chips we have, and guess what? Russia currently can't get the chips because we don't do any business with them, and AMD doesn't send them there. If China produces the chips, guess who also is going to get some of those chips? Russia. So good job. I'm not exactly sure what handbook the government is using, but yeah, it's technology. You can't stop people from getting technology. And if there's anything out there, again, all China has to. I mean, here's the thing. All their profits were coming. The $400 million worth of profits that they were claiming was all the business they were doing with China. That's where the profits are coming from for those companies. And the government's like, nope, don't do it. And I'll tell you right now, look to see some of the other big companies out there where a lot of their profits come from. Comes from the Chinese citizen. Again, China can clone anything that they want in the world. You want to start cutting people off? What are you going to do? Sue them for cloning technology? Okay, good luck. They've been doing it forever, and nobody will stand up to them. So, yeah. So, yeah, they could really screw over a lot of big companies if they really wanted to. So they hold a lot more power. All right, let's look at the open today. So, all right, so this was from yesterday. Let's drop this down to a 15 and see. Yesterday was a pretty good morning. Let's see. Oh, we did tag it. All right, 8:30. I would love to say that this was an entry, but I'm pretty sure you guys missed. It's close. Actually, I guess we could go here. This is a hard one. So if you ran this one purely off the 61.8, you could have got in. But again, for me, it's a confirmation. It's a confirmation. So did you get in? Nope. Unfortunately. Now, 61.8 traders, they would have got in this morning. Let's see. Did they make it to 1 to 3? They did. They would have made it. So if you did get entered, right? If you did enter and then use that entire zone, which again, it just missed it by like a few. It's a sliver. There's no pipettes obviously in this one. You just missed it by 2. Yeah, it went in, and guess what? It went all the way down and it hit its 1 to 3. And then what did it say? It said turned and rolled. So yeah. So unfortunately, as much as I'd love to say, if you followed the rules, this was an entry. If you followed the rules, it wasn't an entry. If you did like the kind of sloppy or the really, really close entry, you got in and it went to full profit target. So again, don't necessarily want to reward bad behavior. You want to follow the rules. But had you had sloppy behavior today, you would have got out on that one. NQ. Let's see. Now, NQ obviously had already chopped higher. NQ, did it have any levels? The 678. I don't need any of these now. That's out. That trade was good. No, this one didn't have anything. The 830 just jacked this one up. All the way up, all the way back down again. Yeah, this one didn't have an open either. Because your 930 candle's right here, but there's nothing over there. So this would not have been an entry. News-wise, yeah, but no entry on this one at all. Look at that. Look at your news. Your old level here that was a chop. Touch, grabbed it at 8:30 and took off. You could have traded this for news probably, but let's pull this down. Oh, I guess this one had a 7.86, but good luck. I'm not taking a 7.86 retest after news. So, it's there. No real zone though. I mean, I guess you could have done that. Actually, let me see that on 5. There's your confirmation. It did. So I guess there actually was a zone there. It's an ugly zone. I don't love the zone, but look, if you drop it down to a 5 minutes, you can see there's your confirmation push on it. It wasn't the best exit, but it was at a 10:30 or was it a 12? So, there are better trades out there. You would have to really kind of look for this one. And again, any of my NQ specialists, you guys probably should have grabbed this one. in looking at this one, and looking at this pop here, you should have looked at this, the 3 descending wicks, and been like, there's probably something in there. Let me investigate it a little bit further. So yeah, if had you investigate this a little bit further and gotten that confirmation, you would have got an entry. So, and if you did, right, if you did get the entry off that one, my NQ specialists, right there, you were out. So, all right, YM. Let's see, extend that across, and look at that. Oh, so close. It's a full retrace back again. Let's run fibs on this one, bottom up. Actually, right now it's only to there, so. All right, so, and again, did you get the entry there? It's going to depend. There's your 930 candle. So you may or may not have gotten an entry into that one. Again, I'll throw the same thing on. And again, I'm putting it just a little bit lower. Your 1 to 3 looks right there. So again, depending on your broker, you may or may not have gotten into that one as well. So again, every broker is a little bit different data, right? Prices are off just slightly. You may have gotten or may not have not gotten to these. And again, that's why you need to do your own assessment. Don't, if I put a number on here and say, hey, listen, it's that number, you need to check it with the broker that you're using. As I said, we've even talked about this with currencies on here, right? I have Oanda live data on here for my live account, but, FXCM data is actually a little bit more closely associated with what you're seeing over at Nadex. So depending on what you're trading, where you're trading it, that's, again, you want to use your broker, your charts, but again, you can draw it off the same level. So again, remember, if I give you a number, it doesn't have to be that exact number. Check it and match it up with yours. So this one is super close. The high, let's see, the days range is 39,953, right? The bottom of this zone right here, I have listed as 56 or 54. Yeah, 54. So it missed it technically by 1, right? Missed it technically by 1. So could there be a 1-point differential at your broker? Absolutely. But again, it went all the way down. Russell, let's see. Does Russell have anything in here? I know we pulled a lot of stuff off on the Russell. Yeah, it's a 61, and there is a level sitting right there. We're just going to mark the green. No, I'm going to do it there. There's your turn. And again, we can see it over here, but just for the record, 915, 930. So this one absolutely did. There you go. So ES, if you were a little sloppy or you did it just purely off fibs, where you said, hey, listen, I'll take either of those triggers, it was good all the way through, right? You're 1-to-1, but this for me would have been 0 for 1. NQ, absolutely would have hit, right? There's your confirmation on the 15, right? There was your zone, there's your confirmation, there's your touch. So again, technically, if you follow the rules, 1 for 2. Profit target, obviously 1 for 1. If you were lazy on both, you were 2 for 2 on both. YM also, if you took it by the rules, depending on your broker, potentially, again, this one could have missed it by 1 single point out of, 31,000 or, almost 32,000. You may or may not have gotten in. If you did, you made it to your full profit target, 1 to 3 off the open. You were good to go. Again, this was purely a purely supply level. There was no fib levels that associated with that one. And then Russell absolutely would have tagged this one. And again, got the 61.8 confirmation there, which is great. And it's unfortunate. This one, it missed it by just a little tiny bit. You wouldn't have got in. It was confirmed with a 61.8. It's just we need a little bit more of a buffer. And again, that could have been, depending on what zone you used over here, it is close. So I'd say playing by the rules, you were 2 for 4, 100% on your profit targets, 2 for 2. Had you gotten into the ES, because again, it was in such close proximity and you wanted to get into it at the open, again, you were 3 for 3. Had you done YM, which also missed it by just 1 single point, and again, depending on your broker, you may or may not have got in, you also would have hit it for kind of the full swing. So if you got into all 4 of these, again, you found those setups, you were 4 for 4 on opening print setups. All of them moved the exact way that they should have from that level. And again, they were a combination of supply zones as well as hitting, big fib levels that people were looking for at the open. So again, a lot of people are like, oh, you can't trade the open. We just laid out 4. Yesterday was another good day. Monday was kind of weird this week. It was kind of nothing was in the right range. But today was again, big run up into news for it to turn or for the open and have it roll right back over with profit taking to wipe everybody out. Everybody saw this and said, wait a second, 8:30 goes straight up. We're buying. And the second that they bought when the market opened, because everything was great, right? It was skyrocketing. It turned and rolled back on them and stopped them all out. So again, a lot of market manipulation in the market today. And again, that's pretty standard, particularly for non-farm payroll, because everybody knows, ooh, non-farm payroll. I love non-farm payroll. Ooh. And everybody would have got stopped on that one. So is what it is. Yeah, that's it. What's the VIX doing right now? Yeah, VIX is continuing to deteriorate. News is out. So this should continue to deteriorate today. And again, the dollar should start to, it's continuing its roll back down to get down to this 109. Yeah, I'm waiting for a headline. Yeah, we don't have it yet. Waiting for the headline. Waiting for a Powell or Bullard or something like that. Be like, hey, listen, we expected this, right? We expected this. Are you kidding me? Right? The sterling shows a collapse. Really? Showing a collapse, huh? Yeah? Right? Markets are sending a message of trepidation. The pound has tumbled, right? Starting this collapse, the 150 shows the UK market in despair runs deep. Yeah. Yeah. They are not wrong. No, there's nothing else out there. So yeah, wait for a headline. So if anything, that's it, guys. Let's go ahead and do the drawing today. So Debbie won yesterday, right? Debbie won yesterday. We have no Will today, and Will may actually be vacationing today. No Sean today, and again, upstate Michigan, this is it for Sean. He'll have snow flurries in 2 weeks. So, but yeah, Debbie's in. So look, Debbie, look at this. A holiday weekend day, we have less people getting in the contest. So could be something good for you, right? Could be something there. Just saying, Debbie. Holiday weekend makes it a little easier for you for the pip chips. All right, here we go. Let's see if Debbie takes it. Neuro's in a little bit. Ernest going low, right? Only with 1. Marina's 1. And again, no Will, no Sean, no Eki. Oh, Eki's there, right? No breaks today either. So here we go. Winner of today's drawing is Neuro. Debbie, so close. So close. And again, Neuro gets his 25 to end out the week. Look at that. Debbie, you would have taken over first place. You would have taken, or not first, you would have taken over third. But Neuro pulls just a little bit ahead. Just a little bit ahead. So close. So close. All right, with that said, again, watch out for Sunday night openings this week. With the U.S. market being closed, it's easy to beat up on the dollar. So wherever the European market wants to take it, we're not going to have the same levels of reversal. So if you can see an established trend early, particularly once the European market opens, you can probably ride that a little bit into what the supposed dollar market would be. I would watch the 1030 reversals. The market would get very slow. Currency market will get very, very slow because there's not really a U.S. influence once we hit that 11 o'clock time frame when the European and really when the European and London markets start closing. But again, look to take profit at 10:30. Don't look for reversals so much. It will be slow. European market should give us a trend. There's no U.S. money to kind of counterbalance us. So again, should be a pretty decent Monday trading if you guys are. If not, again, use 5 p.m. on Monday night as kind of the overnight session. Again, there won't be gaps because the market will be open. So is what it is. With that said, I'm out of here. You guys have a great weekend. Everybody be safe this weekend. Again, call a friend if you're drinking. If not, stay at home. And again, there's nothing wrong with staying at home drinking after COVID. It's totally allowable now. Hopefully you guys have good weather. Guys and girls have good weather. And enjoy. And I will catch you guys back on Tuesday morning. Take care, and I'll see you then.